residential real estate. I'm actually gonna do this like everybody else in the business. I was scared to death. I was scared. Now I've built law offices in foreclosure defense. I've had a door knocking team in 28 counties in Florida, and we procured 26 listings in 2.5 months with distressed homeowners and had all of the buyers on the other side. I've led teams in different capacities. I even sold timeshare when I first started. And when I got here, first of all, I sold everything I owned, decided I was moving in a week, shipped everything here, and was like, okay, I'm gonna hit the restart button on my life. And I don't know if any of you have done that, but that's a little scary. But when I got here, I didn't know anybody, except for my parents and my brother, and I don't think they really knew that I was actually good in real estate because they didn't refer me anyway. Right? How many of us have had that happen? Right? Where like your friends and family use somebody else? What is that? So I had to make a paycheck in 6 weeks or I was going to be homeless. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever had your back against a wall where if you don't get a commission or a compensation check, you're going to be homeless. But it was very, very scary for me. And at the time I was with a big brokerage and they wanted me to go to all of these classes, and I'm sitting in these classes and I'm thinking, this is not going to make me a paycheck. This is not going to make me now money. I need now money because I'm not ready to lose my home and not have anywhere to go. By the way, my parents didn't like my ex-husband, that's why we couldn't live with them. So it was literally like, I gotta make a paycheck. I sat in open house. Now guys, I was scared. And I don't know how many of you have been in this situation where when you first get into the business, you're like, you want me to go like sit in an open house? You want me to put strangers in my car? But I don't know them. You want me to sit in an open house by myself? What if somebody hurts me? Right? All these crazy thoughts go through our head all the time. I did it anyway. Because when your back is against a wall, you have no choice. So I did it. The first weekend, I was like, okay, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I've never really done an open house before, but I'm going to do it. I mean, I've done all of these other things, right? So I did it. I went out there. I was surprised how many people actually came in. And I was all excited, and I set up a search for everybody, and I didn't get any calls. I was like, well, I set up a search. I can see that they're reading it. Why aren't they calling me to go see some homes? I didn't understand. I'm like, okay, this is not working. So the next weekend, I did another open house. I was out in Santan Valley, out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, those of you that live out there, God bless you, because it's a long way. I did it though. And so I'm out there, I don't know anything about the community, and this woman walks in and she's like, you know what? I love this home. Really? Well, I've been in sales a long time. So I was like, okay, she loves this home. I'm gonna ask, well, do you love it enough to make an offer? She looked at me and she said, well, yeah. Okay, guys, I didn't even know how to write an Arizona offer. Thank God I printed one and put it in my car. So I'm literally sitting at the table, handwriting it, not knowing where anything goes because I hadn't even looked at the darn thing yet. And I realized that day that I was going to get a paycheck a week before all of my bills were due. What a blessing. I was like, okay, I can do this again. And I continued doing it again and again and again. And I sold 42 homes my first year here, not knowing anybody other than my family. Right? Now there's a lot of you that maybe you're new in the business and you haven't sold anything yet. There's a lot of you in the business that have been in the business a really long time and you're bored. You're even considering whether you still want to be in this business. And I heard something profound last week when I was in Las Vegas. There was somebody talking, and it really resonated with me because I hear this on a regular basis. If you've been in the business a long time, and you're considering maybe even getting out, or maybe it's just too hard, or you're tired of the shift, because real estate shifts constantly, and we've got to shift with it. So I heard this profound statement. It's not that you don't like real estate anymore, you don't like how you're doing it. And I really want you to think about that for a minute. Because I had to think about that. I'm like, you know what? When I got into real estate, I wasn't sure I really liked real estate. Did I really like sitting in open houses all the time? Sometimes. I did 4 to 5 a week. I had to look at, do I like working with buyers? Yeah, I love working with buyers. They get excited. Do I like listings? Well, they're kind of a pain in the butt. They really are. But yeah, I like it. But really what motivated me and my passion was helping other people, helping other agents. And people kept coming up to me and asking me to start a team. And I was like, I don't have a team. I was not thinking about having a team. 8 years ago, I was not considering writing a book, having a team, being on stage. This was none of the plan. I just wanted to be a realtor. That's all I wanted. But I started a team, and I made every mistake in the book. Every mistake. And what I realized was that the people coming to me were newer agents. And I started seeing some trends with the newer agents, and that's what I want to talk to you about today, is the trends. So the first trend that I want to talk to you guys about is stopping the noise. When we get into this business, or even if we've been in the business a long time, we get a lot of stuff thrown at us. Okay, we get this mindset. I heard a lot of questions with you guys on the luxury panel, like social media and, how do you market? And I know that a lot of you are sitting there right now thinking, well, I don't have the perfect website. I don't have the perfect social media platform. I'm not posting enough. I'm not putting myself out there enough. Guys, I gotta tell you, none of that matters, especially in the beginning. What matters is that you are in front of people. People are who make you money. Social media is not gonna make you money. It's not. Now, there may be some of you that have gotten some leads in social media. Good for you. You're like 5%. Let's be real about this. We are in a technology age where this is all that people seem to care about in business right now, but is it really what the consumer wants? So I started noticing that trend. And then I also started noticing that realtors start to feel guilty if we don't have a bunch on our to-do list. How many of us fall into that category where like our friends and family, or maybe even ourselves, we're looking at ourselves in the mirror and we're like, I don't really have anything to do today, so I need to create a to-do list. Right? You all know I'm talking to you right now. These to-do lists are not anything that really matters. They're to make you feel better. They're to make your friends and family believe that you're actually working. Right? But is your to-do list actually making you actionable now money? The answer is probably no. So are you really feeling better with these to-do lists? Or do you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're on this whole wheel, running? I'm just so busy. I'm so busy. How many times do I tell our friends and family, I'm just so busy? You're really busy doing nothing. Let's be real about it. I want you guys to do this new activity. I recently had my group coaching clients do this, and it was profound in their head. I said, okay, guys, I want you to sit down every day, and I want you to write down what you actually did for the day. Like, what did you really do? And the things that make you money, I want you to write it down in green. And the things that are just time fillers and time wasters, I want you to write those down in either red or black. And then we're going to go over this next week, and we're going to take a look at it, and I want to see how much of it is actually money-making activities. They came back the following week, and I just did this like a month ago. They came back to me the following week, and they were like, oh my goodness, I waste a lot of time. I really do nothing. And they were like, I get sucked into social media. Yeah, that's a time waster. Guys, I have a rule with social media. I'm going to be on social media in the morning. Why? Because I have to be. With my role in this industry of being a national real estate trainer and coach, I have to put myself out there, and I have to promote myself all the time. And by the way, I actually really hate that, but we have to. We do have to put ourselves out there. We don't want to be a secret agent. But at the end of the day, once you post, get out. Don't look at it again until nighttime. Because it's gonna waste your time and you're gonna get sucked in. So that was one of the big trends that I kept seeing was I'm looking at my agents, I'm like, okay, you're at an open house. You're on stage when you're in an open house. You have to be ready when somebody walks in the door. So before somebody walks in the door, what are you doing? Are you playing a game on your phone? That's a good question. Are you looking at social media? Are you creating some random content? Is that going to keep you focused and ready to talk to that person when they walk in the door? No. You need to be looking at all of the properties in the neighborhood that are listed. You should probably have a laptop or a tablet. That might be helpful. You should be looking at the market trends. You should be getting familiar with your neighborhoods. Always keep your mind focused on what you truly want. More clients. More clients. The more knowledgeable you are, the more clients you will gain. So when you're looking at your activities for the day, even when you're at open houses or whether you're at home, it doesn't matter. You should be increasing your knowledge constantly to get ready. One of the other profound things that I heard last week in Las Vegas, and it was across the board, I was in 3 different meetings with CEOs and mega teams and people that do $500 million a year in business. Yes, $500 million a year in business. That's who I got to hang out with last week. I was a peon in this room. I actually went through imposter syndrome because I was like, why am I invited to this? Seriously. I'm nothing compared to these people. I have a team of 20 between Arizona and Florida, and these people are doing $500 million a year. But one of the things that they were saying is, okay, how many people missed the boat during COVID? When business started booming and it went crazy, I want to see a show of hands. How many of you feel like you made all of the money that you should have made during that time? Anybody? Not many. How many of you believe that you could have done a lot better when there was all these buyers out there? Raise your hand. I want to see them. I'm not seeing hands, and I know you guys are lying if you're not raising your hand. I even missed the boat. We wrote 136 offers that first year. We got 36 accepted. We've never done less than 100 transactions on my team. I was like, what in the world? We missed the boat. Guess what? In 2025, you guys are going to get a mulligan. You guys are going to get a do-over. It's going to come to you again. Are you ready? Are you ready and prepared so that you don't miss the boat again? If the answer is no, then you need to start preparing. You need to be getting listings. You need to be rubbing shoulders. I want you to look at the other people in this room. This is your community right here. You need to be exchanging business cards with other realtors so that you can call them up and you can say, hey, I got a new buyer. Do you have a new listing coming up? I need to know. Make relationships with each other. Stop being in the closet. You guys are not enemies. Okay? You're not competition, we're a family. It doesn't matter what brokerage you're with either. Okay? You're a family. And I hate when I hear agents say, oh no, why are you giving the secret sauce? What secret sauce? All of this has been around forever. We're in this together. So the other trend that I kept seeing over and over again is this knowledge paralysis. I call it knowledge paralysis. Because when we get into the business, we believe that we have to know everything before we can actually start talking to clients. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Been in the business 22 plus years. I don't know everything. It's not possible. Every transaction is different. Every client is different. Every scenario is different. Even the agents on the other side are different. There are going to be things all the way through your career that you are not going to know the answer to. And that's where your community comes in. That's where your coaches come in, your team leaders, your brokerage, your staff at your brokerage. You're not going to know everything. So stop using it as an excuse. What I didn't tell you when I started in this business in Arizona is I activated my license in January of 2017 here. I broke my foot, had to have knee surgery, and had to have back surgery in the first 4 months. And I still did open houses, I still door knocked, and I still closed 8 homes in that 4 months. There is no excuses in this business, so stop making them. If I can do that, anybody can do that, because I don't like pain. Okay, I like to create pain for people, but I don't like pain. And I'm on a 2nd-story house, up on this living room, in my boot. And I can't leave the 2nd floor, but that's where the front door is. And I just had to stand there and be like, oh, go ahead, go see the home. I'll be here waiting for you. But I still did it. Yeah, I had to have somebody help me put out the signs. Yeah, I wasn't doing that. I couldn't even drive myself. It was my right foot. Yeah, so stop using the I don't know enough excuse, because it's not real. It's just to make you feel better for your lack of production. I know I'm hitting some of you hard today. I know, but you need to hear it. So, I think that in this business, you have to make a decision. You need to make a decision that you're going to succeed. I made a decision that I was going to succeed. Nothing was going to get in the way of that decision. Nothing. It didn't matter what anybody was going to say to me. I didn't have a choice. Now, some of you have somebody at home that's paying all the bills. So you have the luxury of just kind of hanging out. There's a lot of people that don't. You can do this. Anybody can do this. If I can sell 42 homes, you can sell 42 homes in your 1st year, or 2nd year, or 5th year. Now, how many of you have been in the business more than 5 years? Lots of you. Okay. How many of you sell at least 40 homes a year? Why? That's the question. Why? It's possible. Okay, so we are in a popularity contest in this business. We are in such a technology-based world that people are craving human interaction. A lot of people in the business right now are focusing on AI. Oh, AI does that for me, and AI can follow up with all my people for me, and I can do this. Now, have you guys noticed, you go to McDonald's or Wendy's, which I don't really like fast food, but occasionally I have to stop in one, and they have kiosks now to order. Guys, I went to a Wendy's in Florida. The kiosk was broken. They didn't know how to take my order. They didn't even know how to take my money. Just last month, I was at an open mic night with my dad. Yes, my dad's in a band. And, we go to open mic night every Thursday night, and you can come and hang out too. It's kind of fun. And the restaurant's computer system shut down. They actually closed the restaurant because they didn't know how to take orders by hand and get them to the kitchen or take anybody's money. It's ridiculous. But guess what? In our business, you guys are starting to follow that trend. You guys are starting to depend on your computers for these things. You're starting to depend on AI to write your advertisements. You're starting to depend on AI to follow up with your clients. And what people really want, what they need, is human interaction and true service. That's what they crave. Do you guys want people just talking to you about technology? Okay, my biggest pet peeve, guys. When somebody walks into an open house, do you hand them a tablet and tell them to sign in? Why would you do that? They don't want a tablet. They want to talk to you. A human. Why are you depending on drip campaigns? Okay, all of you know I'm not a big fan of drip campaigns. That no way. I'm going to tell you right now, when I get a drip campaign, the first thing I do is put it in spam. Because I did not ask to be put on that drip campaign. And that's why so many people are afraid to give you their information. Because they're going to be on 10 people's drip campaigns by the end of a weekend. And they don't want it. What they want is for you to call them, not text them. I'm going to say that again. They want a phone call. Now, I know you millennials, I love you. You're afraid to pick up the phone and call people. I promise they're not going to hurt you through the phone. They're not. But pick up the phone and actually call people. Because they want to hear your voice. They want to know that you're a real person. And stop making everything just about business. Now, when I was listening to the people talk in this room last week, and they were talking about that it's not that you don't like real estate, it's that you don't like how you're doing it, I heard some really great ideas. What are you passionate about? Well, one of the guys, he loves throwing parties. Loves throwing parties. So he decided, you know what? I am going to throw parties, and that's how I'm going to meet people. That's what I'm going to do. So he started throwing parties, and now he earns over 7 figures a year just from throwing parties. And I'm talking like he gets sponsors involved. They're dropping Easter eggs all over for the kids at Easter from a helicopter. I'm not telling you to go do that. Okay? I'm not. But the point is, he found something that he was passionate about. What are you passionate about? Do you love art? Maybe you could have some type of art party where you're at a mansion and you're showcasing different people's art. Whatever you're passionate about, start incorporating it into your business. That's what you need to do. Stop focusing on what everybody else is telling you to do and start focusing on what you love. That's the biggest message that I can give you guys today. Now, okay, so with all of that said, I have to wrap up, guys. So with all of that said, here's what I want to say to you. Here's 4 strategies to get you in front of people. In front of people. You are not going to make money by sitting behind your desk at home or hanging out at the office with all of the other agents. Okay? What it takes is determination and dedication to get out and meet as many people as you can. And that's the biggest message that I want to give you today. Get out there and meet people. And before you leave today, I hope that you have everybody's business cards that you can meet in this whole event, because that is going to set you apart as well. Start making friends with other agents and start collaborating together. Again, it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. Get out there. Be with people. Be human. Because that is what people truly are craving today. And that's what I have for you.